Hey guys, Xenon here. This is my Steam Deck. I got this console about 2 weeks ago, and I have been playing the hell out of it ever since I got it, as you can tell by the fingerprints on the back of it. I am in love, and I will tell you guys why I think everyone should have one of these things. Jumping right in with gameplay, this little console absolutely blew me away. As you can see right now, The Witcher 3 is running on my Steam Deck at a solid 50 to 60 FPS, which is insane. Before I bought my own deck, I saw review videos saying that this game ran around 30 to 40 FPS most times, but I can confidently say that those reviews were wrong. This game rarely dips below 40 FPS and most commonly sits well above 50, averaging around 55 to 60 FPS so far. The only consistent frame drops I've had are when I'm traveling through highly populated areas with a lot of NPCs on screen at once. But even so, the game remained above a playable 40 FPS, and that has been the minority of my experience. Continuing this trend is Portal 2. This game, as you can see here, is running absolutely flawlessly on the Steam Deck. I know that this is because this game is a little bit older and it was made in-house at Valve, so it's probably predetermined to run pretty much perfectly on this device. What I can say though is that this game still holds up today, and it still looks amazing to me. I was also able to actually connect my friend's Xbox controller to the Steam Deck while we were on a trip together, and we were able to play a good chunk of Portal 2's multiplayer campaign together, just sitting in the back of my car. So I think that this is a really good way to play games with friends if you don't want to lug around a whole laptop or something like that. And while I know the Switch can do that too, I think that this opens a lot of extra opportunities for games that might not have been ported to the Switch yet, or might run kind of shitty on the Switch. It was a very fun experience to just be able to pop out the Steam Deck and play Portal 2 multiplayer for a little bit with my friend, and I think that this adds more to the allure of this console because it offers handheld multiplayer connectivity with friends. So if you're just in a place and your friend happens to have a controller or some way to connect to a computer, you can just pull out your Steam Deck and play a game with them for a little bit. In the case of one of my personal favorite Steam Deck games, Garfield Kart Furious Racing runs almost perfectly. When I say almost, I mean it does run perfectly. I've never seen this game drop below 60 FPS, and I challenge you to look for that in this recording. This game can probably be picked up for a few dollars, and it controls really well, and in all the time that I've played it, it's been a blast. It's one of the best alternatives to Mario Kart that I've ever played, and that isn't to say you can't play Mario Kart on this platform. That's right, we're talking about emulation. Emulating other consoles, specifically consoles from a certain brand, on this platform is super fun, and it runs almost flawlessly. The footage you're watching in the background right now is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild upscaled to 1080p, running at 45 FPS on my Steam Deck. Natively on the Switch, Breath of the Wild runs at 720p, 30 FPS when handheld, and I believe the same specs, but maybe 1080p when docked. This is a major step up from that, and along with the added benefits of community additions, like the infinite ammo hack that I'm using and some graphical bugs that I've patched out using community patches, I think this is one of the better ways to play this game, and it is certainly how I have chosen to play it. The only other way that I have access to this game is on my Wii U, so this is the only way that I can play it handheld, and I, for one, think that it is a really, really good way to play this game. I have had a really great time emulating games like this for the Wii U, Super Mario Odyssey for the Switch, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube, and so many more consoles on this machine. It is my go-to place to emulate games now because I can take everything on the go. There was a very limited pool of games that Nintendo actually released for emulation on the Switch. That's because it's honestly up in the air whether they deem something worthy of re-release on the new console. However, on the Steam Deck, that isn't a problem. I can emulate whatever I want, and so can you. Quick Xenon side note here, my audio quality is now worse and my voice is now deeper because I am suffering from the flu, and my audio post-processing software completely broke. So I hope you guys can bear with me, and back to your regularly scheduled video. Now, you guys might be asking me, Xenon, what model of the Steam Deck should I get? And I will tell you just that. The Steam Deck has 3 different levels of storage available to the buyer, the cheapest being a 64GB eMMC storage solution, which is slower than the SSDs that belong to the 256 and 512GB variants. It is also important to note that the most expensive variant comes with a custom case and, most importantly, a really neat anti-glare screen, which I will admit is a very useful feature. As for what I would recommend, I personally chose the most affordable 64GB variant as to not break the bank, and then I almost immediately picked up a 512GB microSD card because I could barely fit 2 games on the internal storage. This is what I would recommend to the majority of buyers because it is so much cheaper than all of the other variants, and microSD cards are not even that expensive. I got a 64GB variant and a 512 microSD card for significantly less money than the top tier 512GB Steam Deck cost, and I get actually more storage than that comes with without a card. Unless load times are a great deal for you, I think the best option for any newcomer is the 64GB variant and a microSD card on the side. Also, I would like to mention before this video is over that this footage was not recorded on the Steam Deck, as if it wasn't obvious because of the aspect ratio. It was just something that I had laying on my computer that I could use in the background. I hope you guys enjoyed this slightly chaotic, messy video and at least found it a little bit useful. I love my Steam Deck and I will continue to play it almost every day. It has changed the way that I approach gaming, and now I can play my favorite computer games just laying in bed or sitting on the school bus, and that is a really great thing that this console has brought to my life. So if anyone watching this video travels a lot and just loves to play games, this is the console for you. Thank you for watching.